was sunny today after the snowstorm, and I usually have a black umbrella. It's a little bit on its last legs, but with the impending snow, I decided for $8 to go ahead and get a new umbrella, and I wanted to get orange just because my channel is orange, and I've been peeling a lot of mandarin oranges lately. We're up over 200 mandarin oranges in a month, and I dip them. It's sort of like halos, but you can get them at Target for like $4.29 or on sale for $3.99, and you get 22 or 23 mandarins. They're small, but most people, you know, they're perfect, like snack size. And you dip them in dark chocolate hummus, and they taste so good. And it's a good way to get in oranges if you normally don't. Oranges are hard to eat. You'd have to really be someone who loves oranges. So oranges were one of the tougher fruits for me. I love mangoes. Bananas I would stick in smoothies. Raspberries I love. Strawberries, awesome. But pineapple can be really good when it's really sweet and straight off the, you know, whatever you call it, the plant, if you will, cut straight. And so good, you know, as long as it's ripe enough, you know. And anyway, oranges were neglected, you know, so I was on this mission in December to just like get in my mandarin oranges by dipping them in dark chocolate hummus, since it's available. Boar's Head, non-GMO, can you believe that? They're available mostly at Giant, maybe Acme, and the occasional Target. It's almost like orchestrated. You can find it at the Target closest to where I live, but I can't find it at the Target up in the art museum area. So sometimes things are stocked for the population. You know how like back in the day neighborhood people would say, oh, you got rid of the Pop-Tarts that I love, can you bring them back, you know? And it's sort of in that realm, you know. So anyway, we're behind the Filbert Courthouse-ish. It's up there, and nobody loves that system, right? Try to avoid that at all costs. It's a whole matrix that many people try to figure out how to hide from, unless of course you're a serious victim. But you know, hopefully no one winds up in that position. Although in my case, I was made to believe I'd be murdered the fourth Monday of January 2011. And my mom and aunt's phone lines all the way down, you know, 1,500, 2,000 miles south in Jacksonville, Florida, were severed, so that when I tried to reach my mom in my time of need, I heard, doo-doo-doo, we're sorry, the phone number you're trying to reach has been disconnected. And that could just add to the horror show, the horror film, the horror movie, whatever it was they unleashed the fourth Monday of January 2011, which happened to coincide with major blizzard. That was a historic year of blizzards on the East Coast, Eastern Seaboard. Anyway, they called it the Great Northeastern Storm or whatever. You can still find it on Wiki. Thank God I saved it, because sometimes in history facts can get forgotten, shuffled to the back. And anyway, we had one major blizzard, but so many snowstorms, it was almost like we had two blizzards, like a small blizzard, then a big blizzard, and then it just kept snowing and snowing and snowing and snowing, and we just had like crazy snow. But problem is, I was being harassed the whole time, so I couldn't enjoy it. Normally I love snow, so I was being harassed relentlessly ever since the fourth Monday of January 2011, when I was made to believe I'd be murdered in my apartment. This many years later, I find out that there was an actual person murdered in her apartment, supposedly. Greenberg-Goldberg trial. It's the same week. I'm like, are you kidding? I was being run around like a chicken with her head cut off, as if the CIA took over my ass big time. I don't know. That's what you would assume. Like a normal person would be like, what is it? Like, is it the CIA? Like, nobody consulted me. So anyway, I was forced onto this path, if you will. So anyway, but experienced very bizarre forms of harassment in the realm of like having exposed the beef or you know, dairy industries, which I didn't, you know, but it would be almost like whistleblower-ish type harassment. I'm like, I have no clue how I wound up in this situation. So which way are we going? Love Park or right. Sun's so bright I gotta wear a shade. So anyway, that's what I was supposed to say. So anyway, I just sort of had to spend a lot of time trying to recuperate and recover from many years of being run around this city for other people's purposes, I think. Like, I don't know what it was, but I started to wonder if people were being exposed while I was being tortured. I'm so not kidding. It's like, is anyone gonna stop everything so that I can get off, you know? So anyway, I'm kind of in a somewhat restful period. Not totally. I worry about, you know, my future and paying bills, you know, like a lot of people. But anyway, in a way, we're sort of not having to put up with as much. The city's emptied out because of the pandemic, and it's never returned to full capacity. And the people who played all those games, a lot of them were afraid of the pandemic and moved on, or they got into new habits. So, all right. We'll head over here. I always go past City Hall, so maybe we'll check out the portal today. I ran into Reading Terminal. I'm torn. I don't want to spend too much money, but I thought about the lemon bar from Metropolitan Bakery, and also I've been wanting olive loaf. I keep saying olive bread, but black olives and what have you on a loaf. I've seen it on YouTube, and I know it's around between De Bruno Brothers and all the bakers at Reading Terminal. It's like, I totally want an olive loaf, you know. But maybe this coming weekend. I noticed someone unusual at Reading Terminal the other day, and oddly a pickup truck showed up on my path over the weekend that made me think of that person, because it's almost like a feature, like it's almost like so it's almost like, say someone has a certain type of nose and it's really old school, almost like a bulbous-ish, you know. So no one see it all. So anyway, and for every once in a while someone stands out in a crowd, that kind of situation. You're like, how did that happen? Anyway, now it's one of those things where every once in a while you see someone and you're like, why do I have to figure out who this person is? I mean, I don't really. Odds are I'll never cross paths with this person again. It reminds me of that song from James Blunt, You're Beautiful, you know, saw someone on the subway and knew I could never be with you, or whatever. And it's such a sad song. And in the end of the video, the guy, like James Blunt, you know, playing the person who's singing the song, like, you know, even though he's singing it, but he's playing a character of sorts. And he sort of takes off everything. I see it as him taking